Good morning to Mr. Isa. My name is Badr Alantari. I'm doing accounting and finance, and today I'm going to talk about the financial crisis. And I will define what is financial crisis. So, financial crisis it's a situation where the assets is decreasing in their value, and also the business and customer they don't have the ability to pay their debts, and financial institutions suffer from the lack of the liquidity. Also, financial crisis related with the banks run during that investors are going to sell their assets, and this do what they are afraid of they are afraid of losing their assets. They are afraid of losing of the value of the assets. So this in general, what is financial crisis? The next point we're going to talk about the financial crisis in general in Europe. So Europe it faced financial crisis in 2008, and was some of the countries that was affected, such as Portuguese, Italy, Ireland, Greece, and also Spain. And Europe is forced into financial crisis due to higher government debt and rapidly rising bond yield spread in the government securities. And this crisis affect the entire business and the economic of the country. So now I'm going to talk the most specific country that was affected in Europe. So financially, the most affected country that was affected is Spain. In Spain, the financial crisis it also known as Great Recession, and it began in 2008 during the world financial crisis of 2007. In 2008, Spain was strongly affected by the global credit crisis, and the Spanish property market fell, resulting in a deep recession, which lasted for several years. By 2008, the real estate bubble explosion, the surplus became a deficit, and growth fell to 0.9%. Also in Spain, when the financial crisis happened, there was increasing in the employment, and the rate of the increasing of the employment were like about 13.9% to 17.9%. So this financial crisis that happened in Spain, there is some causes that related to the financial crisis. So financial crisis in Spain is related to there is external and internal financial of the causes. So the most important factor of external that the price of the material has been increased to a higher price. For example, for that such as the oil, the oil or the copper. And also one of the most important factor that the real of the internal factor is the real estate bubble that harmed the system's financial, and this due to the huge exposure to Spanish mortgage banks. So there is one key response by the government that the government response reaction has been fitting, which relieved the most noticeable bad impacts of the crisis. This includes an ambitious incorporation program to reduce the open deficiency and measure to reestablish confidence to the financial sector. And in conclusion, after this crisis, there was an improvement in the employment rate that reached to 23%, and it decreased, and last year ended to 3 pp to 90% of the workforce. Also, after this crisis, economic growth continued in 2000 at 3.4%, and this thanks to the growing of the domestic demand. And this is all for my presentation. Thank you so much.